to my wedding ready series. So I haven't done a wedding related vlog or update or themed video in a while now. And if you guys don't know, I do have like a wedding series here on my channel. I've already done a bunch of different videos, but I will link that playlist below if you're interested. I did a bridesmaid makeup look, how to save money on your wedding. I vlogged like picking my dress and things like that, and I actually just vlogged, I think the last video was my bridal shower, which is just like a regular vlog. So today I just kind of wanted to do like a more informal video because I can tell you guys like those, and I just want to document the whole process all the way up until the honeymoon, I guess. So today I'm going to be showing you a bunch of different things. I have my invites here, my save the dates, which I think I briefly showed you guys in a vlog, and then random other things that I picked up along the way for my wedding. And then I also just want to go over some questions I have, and maybe you guys can help me out with that. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. The guest count at my wedding at most is 40, but right now it's looking like 38 or something like that. So it's really small. Keep that in mind. So since it was so small, and all the guests coming to Doug and I's wedding we know personally, we're not trying to show off or anything, so I didn't want to spend a fortune on cards and stuff because I don't see the point of it unless you're having unless you have a lot of money or you want to like go for a huge blowout and like just do everything up. But for me, I was in charge of my own invite, so I would rather spend my money in other places than stationery that people throw away. I ended up going to minted.com to get both my save the dates and my wedding invites because they just have like the cutest styles and they're not like super overpriced, and you can still make them look really customized. So I know I've shown this before, but this is what the save the date looks like. Basically, I chose gold foil over the top of it, and it's one of our engagement pictures, and it just says Hayley and Doug, and then the city, California, and then the date of your wedding down here, which I just think this is so nice. It's like totally resembles our style, and just like who we are as people. So I really wanted like our save the dates to reflect that, which is funny because it looks like Doug's like telling me something inappropriate. I don't know. Anyways, I wish I could show you guys everything, but I'll show you a close-up. And basically, it's exactly what the theme of the wedding is. So it's rose gold, which is the color I've chosen for the wedding. And it's really simple. It doesn't have anything on the back. It's not like super fancy, but I liked how it was gold foil or rose gold foil again, just because I think that, I don't know, it makes it a little bit more glamorous. So I also wanted to show you some decor that was made for me and given to me, and some things that I picked up over time. So the first one is this wedding garter. So I know I sound like the most cheapest person ever when I talk about wedding related stuff, because it is not even that I'm cheap. Like, you guys know my lifestyle. I obviously like to spend money on things that I care about, but Doug and I just like aren't big wedding people. We don't really care to spend a fortune on chairs. I mean, we had that discussion in my last vlog, or food or cake. All we honestly care about is traveling. And if you guys know, we're going to Japan on our honeymoon, which is a fortune in itself. We've already booked it and I'm like, holy crap. But I don't mind spending thousands on traveling and seeing the world. I do mind spending thousands on food that people aren't gonna remember, a dress that is overpriced, and things like that. I picked up a garter off Amazon. You guys know I love Amazon, I'm addicted. And I was looking at garters on Etsy, and they were all like $100 for a set of 2, and I'm a super noob as far as when it comes to like wedding stuff, so I did not know that you're supposed to have 2 garters, one to throw, like one for the guy to throw, your groom, and then one to keep. I thought you just got one, so I had to look that up. I was like, why do you need 2 garters? But it makes sense now, although I don't know why the groomsmen want to keep the garter, but who knows. I don't want to risk it and like then be drunk and throw it off into like the mud or something. I'd rather just have my own and wear it. So yeah, I got my garters off Amazon Prime. They were like $10 in comparison to like $50 for 2 little pieces of fabric. It just doesn't make sense for me to like spend that much. And I think this is gonna be my something blue because this one's not hand embroidered, but it's embroidered and it says I do on it, which I really like. So yeah, has the small one to throw and then the bigger one to keep, and I think they're super cute, and honestly they're just as good as the ones on Etsy. So the next thing my sister actually made for me, and I love it. My sister, I want to throw this out here if you guys are getting married, or if you want to get bachelorette party shirts made, or tumblers. What else does she do? Mailbox decals, a bunch of different stuff. She actually has her own Etsy site, and she sells off Facebook as well. So she made this for me, and she does sell it for a really good price. Honestly, my sister gives really good prices. This is what she made me. It says, Mrs. Johnson, which is my new last name, and it's basically just like a white wood painted hanger for my dress. And then she hand did this with like rose gold like wire, which I think this is so pretty. And obviously, like, you guys have probably seen this on Pinterest and stuff, but she has a lot of different designs and stuff, so I'll link her Etsy shop below if you guys are interested. And you can always like request stuff from her and she'll make it. She's like super flexible. But she made me like a chair, like a banner, and I literally love it. It's so cute. Like I said, our wedding is like gold, rose gold and things like that. So she made me this really pretty gold banner. It says Mr. and Mrs. to hang on the back, and then like right here, like where it hangs, she made like little white bows to hang, which I think is so cute. It's super delicate, so I gotta be careful, but yeah, I love that. Okay, and then the next thing that I wanted to talk about is favors. So that's another thing, like, Doug and I just really want our wedding to reflect what we actually like. There's a lot of favors on Pinterest and stuff that look really pretty, but I mean, the majority of our wedding party and all of our guests are like in their 20s and 30s, so everybody's still really young, minus like Doug's grandparents. And yeah, basically, like, we didn't want to like send them home with something they're not going to use. I love the idea of giving people like homemade honey or olive oil, or I don't know, things that with like their name embroidered on it. But like in reality, my friends at least and my wedding guests probably would just discard it or keep it like in a box far away. So I wanted to give people something that they actually want and they're gonna be excited for. And along that theme, something that Doug and I like really like. This is gonna seem so simple, but if I'm personally going to a wedding, I wanna walk away like happy and satisfied. So we're gonna give out chocolate chip cookies, which just seems kind of blah, but in my opinion, like, I would want that and I would be excited to get that as a favor rather than like bubbles or macaroons. I don't like macaroons personally, so I wouldn't give them out to my guests. And everybody likes chocolate chip cookies, and it's just something that Doug and I make like once a week. Not anymore because I'm trying to go gluten-free, but yeah, so I got two things that are really cute because there's a lot of different ways you can wrap them up and make them look super cute and personalized. So I just got these like, they're like little brown paper bags off Amazon, so they're really simple, but to kind of like jazz it up, I got personalized stickers from Amazon too. You'll see a theme with my Amazon obsessions. But basically it just says, thank you for celebrating with us, Hayley and Doug, and then the wedding date and like some flowers. I will link everything below if you guys are interested. So yeah, you just like stick the sticker on the back and like fold it over, and you have like the cutest little, in my opinion, inexpensive wedding favor. Okay, so the next few things that I kind of want to just talk about and ask your guys' opinions on, because you guys have helped me so much, you have no idea. Okay, so the first one I've already mentioned and like had a rant on. It's my veil. It's in this bag, it's a brown paper bag. I got it from Amazon Prime, 30 bucks. And one of my subscribers recommended me a place called Blanca Veils, and they're on Etsy, and they have like $100 veils or $80 veils, even down to like 50 depending on how long you want. But I want a really long one, and she sent me pictures of her, which thank you so much, Wendy, you're amazing. And your veil is exactly what I want. However, I don't know if I'm gonna discard. I know you guys are gonna be like, really, Hayley, because I've already gotten some comments like that, but I don't know if I'm going to just bite the bullet and buy the Etsy one, only because this one I don't feel is like that bad. I'm not a veil snob. Again, this was $30, and I know you don't have to be a veil snob to like, you know, get a nice veil. You can just be a regular person. But this one like isn't far off in my opinion from like the Blanca Veils one. The only thing that makes it look cheap is the fact that it's really wrinkled. If I were to get it like steamed or something, I don't think you could really tell. I mean, the lace on the end, here, let me show you guys better. The lace on the end isn't terrible. It's exactly what I want and the exact size I want. I just think it throws me off because it's like really wrinkly. But I feel like it's gonna work fine with my dress. And even like, I asked all my bridesmaids, well, for the most part, a lot of them, and I mean, none of them have like really been married. None of them are married yet, so they're not like familiar. I'm sure if you were older, you'd be like, oh, Hayley, that veil is terrible. But since my friends are all really young still, like fresh out of college, none of them could tell the difference. Like, they're like, oh, that's nice. Like, they didn't even notice. And I even asked their actual opinion. I was like, does this look tacky? And they're like, you honestly cannot tell. Especially since my dress has a lot of lace overlay, so it just kind of like, when I put it on with the dress, you really can't tell. So I'm gonna keep it for now. And then, yeah, but I will link below the actual good place that one of my subscribers mentioned to me, Blanca Veils, because those are so amazing and they're not even expensive. So yeah, that's like my whole veil rant. Gonna leave it at that. And once I get my dress back from being like hemmed, I'll try it on again and see if it really matches. The next thing I want to talk about is a head hairpiece. So I already know how I'm gonna wear my hair. It's gonna be down because that's how I feel most comfortable, and I am gonna do my own hair and makeup, so I don't wanna pay someone to do like an updo, because every time I do that, I've done that in the past for like sorority formals and my sister's wedding, I don't like how the updos turn out. And since I'm not like familiar with NorCal, because that's where we're getting married like 6 hours away, I don't really know like who's up there that could help me, since it is kind of rural up there. But yeah, basically, or where we're getting married. But yeah, basically I just really wanted to get like some kind of a headpiece, not like a crown or anything like that, but there's a lot of different headpieces. The only thing is that you only wear them once. When are you ever gonna wear your bridal headpiece? Like, you're probably not gonna wear it. Actually, you're definitely not gonna wear it again unless you have some crazy formal event to go to, which most people don't throughout their life. But I was looking on Nordstrom and then blndh.com, which a lot of people love for wedding stuff. And all of the headbands and headpieces, clips and things like that, they're all around like $250 to, I mean, $1,000 plus, just for a tiny little head thing. And so I started to look on Etsy and I found a lot of really, really cute ones. I'll go ahead and like put pictures here to show you guys what I want. And some of them are kind of out there, but that's just kind of how my taste is in fashion, so I might just do it, but I'll have to try it on, obviously. And I do really like the ones from Nordstrom because, I don't know, in my crazy head, I feel like I could justify spending money on a headpiece because you're actually wearing it for like the entire wedding rather than a veil that you take off. And then the next thing I want to mention is that I booked my eyelash extensions. I'm so excited. I booked them for next Friday. And I've actually found a girl that does them in my area. It's not like a shop or anything. I believe it's just one girl. It's kind of sketchy because I'm going to her apartment, but it has like a lot of good reviews and her price isn't like astronomical. For a full set, it's $150, and then for fills, it's $60. And that's even like with the volume added, because I'm for sure gonna want the volume added, like the bigger the better eyelashes. So yeah, I'm excited about that, and I'll definitely vlog that for you guys. The next thing I wanted to mention and kind of like ask your guys' opinion is a DJ. So since we're only having, I mean, 35 to 40 people, I don't really see the need for a DJ. And I even looked up on like the wedding websites like weddingready.com and the Knot and all those forums. And a lot of people that just got married with like a few people said that either they had a DJ and it was really overwhelming and not necessary because you don't really need a microphone. I try and tell Doug that it's like gonna be as big as a classroom of people, and nobody uses a microphone in a classroom. So yeah, some people said that. Other people said that, you know, the DJ really directs like the I guess like the flow of the party and stuff like that. So let me know your guys' thoughts on that. If I should have one for 35 to 40 people, or if I should just have some kind of like iPod playing and have one of the waiters kind of like manage it or something, because we're having that. Oh, the last thing I wanted to mention is the cake. OMG. Okay, so my last wedding vlog, I talked about how cakes are crazy overpriced. So I was gonna do Costco cheesecake, which I know sounds so ratchet, but I was prepared and like, I have really good taste, so I wouldn't make it look cheap or anything. But then I started to realize that cheesecake melts, you cannot leave it out. That was a bad idea. And we don't have like a huge fridge to store a bunch of cheesecakes in. So I called a bunch of different cake places up in Northern California, and I think it's just like wedding cake, you know, bakeries in general. I asked for a 2-tier plain white cake and they quoted me $350, and I'm just like, really? A cake that I could make myself for 2 tiers? So I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. And I know a lot of you guys are gonna say, Hayley, just get cupcakes or just do like a dessert table or something, but that's like one thing that I really want. I know it sounds so cheesy, but I really want a traditional cake and like something to cut. So yeah, if you guys have any ideas of what I could do, I'm honestly debating on making my own cake and like bringing it up there, because I know that I could do it good, like if I practice, and I wouldn't have to spend like $350. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. But other than that, that's all I really have to say for this vlog. If you guys have any comments or suggestions, leave them in the comment box, and make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye! Basically, I just got like the standard Ray-Bans with the gold rim, and then these are actually the green frames. So I believe they had the black frames, but these were the ones on sale